Celebrity detectives, suicidal superheroes, and elementary school astronauts? Grab some popcorn and check out the new gems Netflix has to offer. A hair-raising horror story, the supernatural series Archive 81 takes viewers on quite the thrill ride. The show follows archivist Dan Turner, played by Mamadou Ache, who is tasked with restoring tapes burned in an apartment fire. Working in an extremely desolate location, Dan must also piece together any information he can about what actually happened during the blaze. The more Dan uncovers from the footage, which was filmed by Dina Shihabi's character, Melody, the weirder circumstances get. Based on the 2016 podcast of the same name, Archive 81 has received high praise from critics and fans. Despite this success, the series was cancelled after one season. Spy thriller In From the Cold follows Jenny, aka Anya, a Russian spy once known as the Whisper, until she went into hiding in the United States. Played by Margarita Laviva, Jenny is a divorced mother who wants to prioritize her family but gets pulled back into her old way of life when she's discovered and forced to embark on a series of dangerous missions in Madrid. This spy thriller proves that a work-life balance isn't always easy to achieve, especially when the work portion revolves around guns, violence, and being an all-out assassin. Though this might not be the most relatable sentiment, In From the Cold is an enticing spy series that adds its own spin on the well-worn genre and hooks its audience with a series of thrilling twists. If you're a fan of oddball murder mysteries, then Murderville is a must-watch. This improvisation-driven comedy follows mustache-twirling detective Terry Seattle, played by Arrested Development star Will Arnett, as he solves cases alongside celebrity guest stars and keeps the audience laughing from start to finish.
Senior Detective Terry Seattle. And no, I've never been.
That was going to be my first question.
Of course it was.
Without giving too much away, a few of Terry's all-star assistants include Annie Murphy, Ken Jeong, and Kumail Nanjiani. Since much of the series is made up of unscripted elements, these unsuspecting celebrities are taken on as much of a comedy-filled ride as the audience. A crime mystery based in Indonesia, Photocopier follows a young woman named Sua, played by Shanina Cinnamon, who encounters a worst-case scenario when a compromising selfie begins to make its rounds after a night of drinking. The fallout is swift and severe as she loses her scholarship and faces ridicule from her parents. Perhaps worst of all, she doesn't remember the events of the night before. Sua must retrace her steps to figure out what really happened, a mystery that's flooded with blurred lines and deception. Photocopier has seen screaming success in reviews from critics and fans alike, and it will have viewers on the edge of their seats while they try to piece together a blackout-induced night with the main characters. If the title The Woman in the House Across the Street from the Girl in the Window sounds familiar, it's because the series is a parody of the Netflix thriller The Woman in the Window, as well as other mystery psychological material in the same vein. The film follows Anna, played by Kristen Bell, a grieving alcoholic who believes she's witnessed a murder. Unfortunately, no one, including the authorities, takes her seriously, as she often has hallucinations. From a boring existence staring out a window to solving a possible murder case on her own, Anna's life is turned upside down in this dark comedy thriller.
I swear I know what I saw. Okay? I saw her dying.
Though spoofs tend to be flooded with cliches, this latest parody installment is worth a watch for comedy and thriller fans alike. Windfall follows a man known simply as the Robber, who breaks into a vacation home owned by a well-to-do couple. When the husband and wife arrive at their getaway home, instead of fleeing the scene, the robber decides to take the two hostage inside their own house. The heist slowly falls apart as it's revealed that this particular married couple aren't exactly living in marital bliss. Despite the film's simplistic nature, Windfall is gifted with an explosive cast, featuring Jason Segel as the robber, Lily Collins as the wife, and Jesse Plemons as the CEO. As John Nugent of Empire magazine observes, short, sharp, and mostly satisfying, this is a thriller that sticks to the stripped-back fundamentals of the genre. Imagine being 10 years old and getting recruited by NASA to go on a secret mission to the moon. That's exactly what happens to protagonist Stan in Apollo 10.5, a space-age childhood which intertwines a nostalgic depiction of growing up in 1960s Houston with a fanciful story about becoming a child astronaut. Boasting a gifted cast featuring Glenn Powell, Jack Black, and Zachary Levi, it's no wonder why this film received high praise from audience members and critics alike. Though Apollo 10.5: A Space-Age Childhood might be most appealing to baby boomers, its riveting animation and creative storytelling make it enjoyable viewing for all ages. With a resume including unauthorized spoofs of The Punisher and Power Rangers, as well as well-received adaptations of Dredd and Castlevania, Adi Shankar has breathed new revisionist life into familiar genre fare. His latest work, the partially animated series The Guardians of Justice Will Save You, specifically celebrates superhero series like DC Comics and Warner Bros.' deadly serious Justice League franchise. The story begins in the late 1980s, following a long period of global peace, when extraterrestrial superhero Marvelous Man, played by William Lee, saved the planet from the clutches of Robo-Hitler and a deadly Third World War. When Marvelous Man dies of an apparent suicide, his former teammate Nighthawk begins investigating his late captain's passing. Should Nighthawk and the other Guardians fail to rise to the challenge and fill the void left by Marvelous Man, Earth could face yet another global catastrophe. Following his long run as a creator, producer, and showrunner on HBO's epic fantasy series, Game of Thrones D.B. Weiss went the completely opposite direction with his next project, a charming, musically oriented high school comedy called Metal Lords. In this Netflix film, Hunter, played by Adrian Greensmith, is a devotee of the darkest and hardest heavy metal, and he desperately wants to start a band. In pursuit of his dream, he recruits his best friend and marching band percussionist, Kevin, to play drums.
Meet me after school. We've got work to do.
Metal Lords tracks the duo's progress as they find their sound, transform an overstressed orchestra cellist into a metal bassist, and prepare for an impending battle of the bands. Wholesome and nostalgic, Metal Lords feels simultaneously familiar and unique in its portrayal of high school friendships and romances.